guys, today Jason's back with another lecture. This will probably be his last lecture because he moved to his own channel, so make sure to go check him out. I'll leave all of his socials in the description. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video.
Yo, it's your boy Jason, back at it again, aka 𝒮𝒃 aka convicted felon, and I'm gonna give you guys another lecture. I know you've all been waiting for it. I know you've all wanted one. Today we're gonna be switching it up. We're not gonna be talking about physics today. Today we are actually going to be talking about calculus, you know, the math term calculus. But before we get started on today's lecture, I need to play my intro real quick. Alright guys, so first off, you know, I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. You know, had some personal things that I've had to do, some shit that's gotta get done, some plays that had to be made. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Alright, so listen, let me just okay, alright, so guys, we're gonna be explaining calculus today, so I know I already said that, but okay, so like, we're gonna be explaining calculus. So calculus is like, there's a few things that you need to know. You need to know derivatives, integrals, and you also need to know like limits, the fundamental theorem of calculus, series and sequence, differential equations, multivariable calculus, and that's pretty much it. So all of that is really simple stuff, and I know all of you are gonna understand it by the end of this video because of how good I explain everything. Alright? So look, let me put these all into terms that you can understand more. So first we're going to talk about limits of calculus, the limits. So basically there's a limit in calculus. Like, you can't approach something endlessly without like necessarily reaching it, you know? So imagine you're trying to roll the perfect, but every time you fix one side, the other side gets a little crooked. Like, you keep getting closer and closer to perfect, but you never get exactly there. You know what I'm saying? You never get to like perfect. You just keep getting closer and closer and closer. So there's a limit to calculus. So just make sure you remember that. Put it in your brain because that's important later on, I think. Okay, so next we're going to be going on to derivatives, which is like the rates of change basically. So it measures how fast something is changing at an exact point. So think speed at a specific second, like not the whole trip. So let me give you a better example because I know you need one. So let's say, okay, so you pop a pill, you know, it could be a Xanny, it could be a perk, an oxy, whatever the fuck you want. You pop a pill and your body metabolizes it into something else before you can actually feel it, you know? So the effect you feel depends on how fast your body changes it and how the new thing changes you. All right? But that's also known as the change rule, the rate of one thing changing through another thing. You know what I'm saying? I could give you a better example. So the derivative, it's also like the rush, like your come up speed. So you pop some acid, and the trip is starting. You're shooting up fast. Like, the derivative is fucking massive. At the peak, the change levels off. So the derivative is close to zero, and when you're coming down off the acid, the derivative is actually negative. Alright? So that's derivatives. Next, guys, we are going to be talking about integrals. Basically, that's like the total high. So like the whole experience, not just one moment. It's not like derivatives. It's not like the come up, the peak, and then the coming down. It's the whole experience. So it's like the second you popped it to the second you end it, the entire thing. If you log every wave of euphoria you felt through the night when you're on acid, the integral is like the total amount of tripping that you did. So while the derivative tells you like how hard am I tripping right this second, the integral tells you like how much should I trip overall. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hope you understand that. If you don't, next we're going to talk about the fundamental theorem of calculus. This is the bridge between derivatives and integrals, the bridge. It basically says derivatives and integrals are opposites. So it's like compared to complete opposites, pretty much. Or let me give you a better example. You know, that's the best example that I can think of. You know, that should be, you should understand. If you know one, you can figure out the other. So basically, like, if you know one plug, well, then you could figure out the other plugs. So you know what I'm saying? So if you know one of them, you know the other thing. So it's the same thing with derivatives and integrals. If you know one of them, you'll understand the other. Next, we're going to be talking about series and sequences. Sometimes instead of smooth curves, you add up like infinite little pieces. So like a 0.5 plus a 0.25 plus a fucking 0.15 plus a I don't even know. All of that equals 1. So calculus gives you the tools to deal with those like infinite stacks, because it can just keep infinitely adding and getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to add up to 1. It could go all the way down to like a 0.0002 plus a 0.00003 just to add up to 1. Like it could be infinite. So calculus will give you the tools to deal with that stacks, you know. It could be a 0.03 of like anything, just anything, literally anything, alright? So differential equations, these are equations where the unknown is a function that's changing. The equations where the unknown is a function that's changing. So basically, hold on. So basically, it's super common in real life, like the population growth of, okay, so the differential equations, your body absorbs a substance, but at the same time, your liver is breaking it down. So let's say and right now my liver is breaking it down because it's going to my brain and I'm getting geeked. The balance between going up and coming down makes a curve that you can solve with calculus, you know, so the up and the down and then the peak at the same time, so there's like a little peak at the top, so it's like on a graph, you know, up and then down. That's a differential equation. It models real life processes that change over time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay, let me give you a better example. You're in a whip, you're in a car, and you're at a red light, and then a fucking cop comes up right behind you and flashes its lights, so you slam on the gas and you start going up. But then you are ahead of you, there's traffic, so you have to start slowing down again. The graph would be going up when you speed up, and then when you see the traffic, it goes back down. Or if you're like me, you'll just run into the traffic and start playing bumper cars. But that's just me, alright? Next, and the last thing is multivariable calculus. So instead of just like one variable, like time, you look at things that depend on many different variables. So, like let's say, Okay. So instead of one variable like time, you look at things that depend on many different variables. So if you're just looking at and how it looks, you can't just do that. It matters on how it smells, how it tastes, how it makes you feel. Like there's many variables that go into knowing that it's good. You can't just tell from looks, you know. So it basically, another example, something more light. The temperature in the room depends on X, Y, and Z position. Alright, and the temperature would usually be hot because I'm lighting a torch. But, okay, so the tools are like partial derivatives, multiple integrals, and vector fields. Alright, so, yeah. You know what, guys, that pretty much sums up fucking calculus. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. If you guys don't understand what I just talked about, alright.